Automatic. Addison.
In this tutorial, we will create a C++ subscriber for ROS2. In ROS2, a C++ subscriber is a program written in C++ that listens for messages being published on a specific topic. Topics in ROS2 are channels of communication named according to the type of information they carry. Each subscriber in ROS2 declares its interest in a particular topic and is programmed to react or process the messages received on that topic. Follow along with me, click by click, keystroke by keystroke. Let's open up a terminal window and let's move to the workspace. Opening up Visual Studio Code so we can write our code. Let's close that. All right, and let's create our subscriber. We're in the ROS2, so if you can see that over here, ROS2 Fundamentals Examples package. We are going to go click on SRC, which is where we keep our source files for C++. And let's do CPP _ minimal subscriber.cpp. Following the same naming convention as our publisher. Let's close this on the right. We don't want to update right now. And let's create our C++ subscriber. And let's write a Javadoc comment at the top. Okay, CPP. Oh, let's rename. I see I put a plus where it should be an underscore. Okay, and let's do CPP _ minimal subscriber. Let's put the name. Brief. Let's say demonstrates subscribing to messages on a ROS2 topic. Okay. Version, that's okay. I'll keep it as is. Date's fine. Get rid of the copyright, don't need it. And right here, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And let's say subscription topics. Let's do string message. And it's going to be CPP, example, topic, stood messages string. Just confirm that that is the same topic as our publisher. Yep, CPP example topic. So we are matching the topic name. Okay, and let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and let's say publishing topics. None. We're not publishing anything. This is just a subscriber. I'm going to change the date on here because that can mean different things in different countries. So let's just make it very clear. Let's say April 11th, 2025. And let's save. Get rid of that version. I don't normally need to do that. Okay. So here we've got our header all good. Now let's do our includes as we always do. Let's do #include RCL CPP RCL CPP.hpp. Do ROS2 C++ client library. Okay, and let's do #include stood messages msg string.hpp. And this is used for handling string messages. Okay, and let's do using stood placeholders _1 placeholder for callback function. Okay. Now let's create the class that will inherit from RCL CPP node, the node class, and the RCL CPP, the ROS2 C++ library. And here we're going to demonstrate how to create a subscriber and subscribe to messages. So to do that, let's create our class, minimal CPP subscriber, public RCL CPP node, through the curly braces. And let's do our public here. Public. All right, and let's do minimal CPP subscriber. Create our constructor. Colon node. And in here, we'll just type minimal CPP subscriber. That will be the name of the node. Let's do another curly braces. And so how do we create our subscriber? Just like we did in the publisher, we need to create a variable to store our subscription. So subscriber, we'll call it subscriber, and we need to create it. Create subscription. What's the message type? Stood messages, message, string. Okay, let's close that bracket right there. Okay, and then in here, let's create a open parentheses. Okay, what is first field? What is the topic name? Topic name is CPP example topic. Oh. Okay, it's comma. Let's put 10 for the queue size. And so you can see that 10 for the queue size. And then what will be the function that will be tied to it? We need a callback function that will execute every time a message is published on the CPP example topic. So to do that, we do stood bind, open parentheses again. Oh, need to say bind, B-I-N-D. And ampersand, minimal CPP subscriber topic callback, comma, this, and then _1. Okay, and that gets that there. Let's go very slow. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. No need to rush. So we close our stood bind subscriber. Let's put a semicolon there, close that out. Have a bracket. Looking good, looking good, looking good. Minimal subscriber. Okay, now let's create our callback function, the function that will run every time a message is published to the topic CPP example topic. And remember, topics, they have that leading /. So let's Let's go down here. Let's say void. We don't need a return value, so we're going to do void topic callback. We need to match the name of the function right here. And what do we expect? We expect a string message. So const stood messages, message, string, ampersand, MSG. So looking good. Okay, and let's put const out here. And what do we want to do? What do we want to do? Let's just make this very basic. And every time a message comes over the CPP example topic, we just want to print out the message to the terminal. So how do we do that? We need to use this function, which is RCL CPP info underscore info, and then stream, open parentheses, get logger, get underscore logger, and then I heard, okay, and I heard what? I heard what? I heard the message, MSG, and what's the field? How do we extract that? Data, okay, and we want it as a C string, okay, and then close parentheses, and then semicolon. So that's that. Every time we get a new message, we are going to echo that message to the terminal window using the RCL CPP info stream get logger function. Now that we've established our public functions, and we need to now go over to private to define our private member variables. And let's do that now. Private. Let's go over with the indentation, private. Okay, and this is member variables. RCL, CPP, subscription. Because we're creating a subscription, we do stood, messages, message, string, shared pointer. You've seen this before. Okay, and what is the variable? The variable is this subscriber. So let's copy that, put it over here, give it a semicolon, as we always do in C++. And let's close this out with a semicolon. Okay, so this is our class to create the subscriber. We've got our constructor up here, and we've got the callback function right here, and the member variables. Okay, the member variable subscriber, which is the actual subscriber. Okay, and then to finish this out, we do the main function, because we have to initialize the ROS2 system. We have to create an instance of the minimal C++ subscriber node. And then we also have to shut down ROS2 when we close the node and in the program. So let's do that now. Int main, int argc, argc, comma, car, argv. Let's create some space there, make it more readable. Let's do curly braces right here. And we need to initialize ROS2, so RCL CPP init argc argv. And let's create an instance of the minimal C++ subscriber node, and we need to spin it so the callback gets called. So how do we do that? Auto minimal CPP subscriber node stood node. Make sure we spell this right. My D key is getting stuck from time to time. Okay, equals stood make shared stood make shared. Okay, and this is minimal minimal CPP subscriber. Okay, and now we need to spin the node. So let's do that now. RCL CPP spin minimal CPP subscriber node. Have to end the line with semicolon in C++. And that, so we created an instance of the minimal C++ subscriber node. We are spinning it right here. All right, and now we need to shut down ROS2 upon node termination. So let's do RCL CPP shut down. Shut it down, shut it down. Close parentheses and end the program. Return 0. There you go. This is the C++ subscriber in all her glory. Now we need to modify the CMakeLists.txt file inside the package so that the ROS2 system will be able to find the code we just wrote. So go over here, CMakeLists, and this is a C++ file. So let's start from the top. All right, let's just make sure we got everything we need. We got CMake, we got the CL CPP library, which we imported, stood messages, everything good there. All right, let's get rid of these comments. We don't need it there. Set dependencies. Okay, include directories. Don't need to touch that. Minimal C++ subscriber. We do need to touch that. So we got minimal C++ subscriber. But I need to change the name because we called it CPP minimal subscriber. So let's go over here, CPP, and then minimal subscriber. And let's uncomment this, uncomment that, and save. And that should do it. Oh, let's go over here. Need to make sure we install the C++ executable. So uncomment that. And that should do it. It's just those two changes. And save. Now you need to go over here and build the workspace. Open up a new terminal, type build. It's building. And finished, built cleanly. Everything finished okay. By the way, that build alias, just as a reminder, it does this command where you change directories into the ROS2 workspace, run colcon build, and then source to bash. So that alias I created in an earlier tutorial can build. Does it all. Okay. Okay, now that we built everything, we're ready to run the nodes. So just to make it interesting, I'm going to close this. Let's keep this open. Let's just minimize the screen. And let's go over and open the Terminator application. So I clicked at this right here in the bottom left, and I look for Terminator. You can also have typed in here, Terminator, and then click it. Okay, I like Terminator because I can see everything all at once. So let's split this into two screens. Okay, I did split horizontal. Okay, and in the top, let's run the publisher. So ROS2, run, ROS2, fundamentals, examples, and then CPP, minimal publisher. Let's see if that gets it. Oh, actually, I called it minimal CPP publisher. Okay, so ROS2 run, ROS2 fundamentals examples, minimal CPP publisher. Okay, ROS2 run, ROS2 underscore fundamentals underscore examples, and then minimal CPP publisher. Let's run it. So we're now publishing at 2 Hertz. If we go in the bottom, the ROS2 topic list, you can see we have our CPP example topic. And let's do ROS2 topic Hertz, CPP example topic. You can see we're publishing every half second. This is what we expect. And let's clear it. Let's take a look at what's coming across that topic with ROS2 topic echo CPP example topic. And we've got our data coming across. That's good. Okay, we're running our publisher successfully. Now let's run the subscriber. So I'm going to go ROS2 run ROS2 fundamentals examples and minimal CPP subscriber. Run it. And there we go. I heard hello world, just as we expected. Just as we expected. Okay, I'm going to close that out. Let's go into a bigger terminal in case you couldn't see that. So ROS2 run ROS2 fundamentals examples and then minimal CPP subscriber. There we go. I heard. And then the counter ticking up. As we go higher and higher, more messages are being published. Do Control C, close everything cleanly. Signal handler, 2 got captured there and terminated everything. So that's how you run the subscriber. In the example we just went through, we published a string message to a topic named CPP example topic using a C++ node, and we subscribe to that topic using a C++ node. ROS2 is language agnostic, so we could have also used a Python node to do the publishing and a C++ node to do the subscribing, and vice versa. That's it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching. Keep building.